Hey everybody, what is going on? Welcome to the 40th, I think, of a Pygame tutorial video. In this video, what we're going to be talking about is how we can distribute our Pygames, so converting them to an executable. You can also convert them to run on Mac OS. You just need to have played this or coded this on Mac OS. As far as I know, there's no way to convert it to a Mac OS application if you don't have a Mac. But if you do have a Mac, get Pygame, get Python, and run the code necessary for Macs. But with that, let's go ahead and get started here. What I've got here, I've got Google open. We'll just bring this over. And what we're looking for is CX freeze. So we'll click on that. And this is where we want to be. And then you can go to, you can either, if you're on Linux, you could run pip install. You can also download directly from the Python package index here. So here's where you can run either the source code, and you can do setup.py. There are also Windows executables. So here, this would be for 32-bit Windows. If you have 64-bit Windows and you still want, oh, it looks like they have 64. My bad, I almost missed that. You can do this. I have had some people say that for whatever reason this doesn't work. If it doesn't, there is another place. I always go to this guy's website. It's this Python extensions package website, but CX Freeze should have an executable. That only makes sense. So they do, and so you should be able to be just fine using these. So go ahead and grab whatever version corresponds to you. If you're on 64-bit, that's this. If you're on 32-bit Windows, that's this. Also, you can do the source and use the setup.py. So get that, install CX Freeze, and basically get to the point where you can open up IDLE, the command line, basically. Hopefully mine's going to pop up here in a second. Hello. There we go. And you just want to be able to do import CX_F freeze, like that. And as long as you can do that, you've correctly installed CX Freeze. So now I want to talk about how can we convert our application. So we're going to we'll get rid of this, and this is our tutorial. And what I've gone ahead and did is I've put everything just in this dist tutorial folder here. So this is our Pygame. So if we click on that right now, that brings up, there's my console. Uh-oh, what happened? Oh, I know what happened. I didn't move my images. Let me move the images over as well. Hold on, let's do this. And then we need to get the images here. 2, and that should be it. Let's run that one more time. Yeah. Okay. So when we click on that script, we get our current game. We can play it and all of that. So that's the current script. Now let's exit this. And now what we want to do, I'm just going to do copy and paste of the Pygame tutorial. I'm going to edit this, and we're going to call this setup. Setup.py, and now I'm going to go edit with IDLE, and we're going to make this our setup.py. So let me just center this on the screen here, and I'm going to do Control A and delete. So there's nothing here. Again, this is our setup.py file. Please don't just delete all your code and then write this and think something's going to work. So now we've got both the script that we wrote for this tutorial, and then what we're editing right now is this setup.py. And again, make sure you have the images there. You should. I just happened to put this in its own directory so it would be very clear what was happening. And now we're ready to program our freezing. So what we're going to do is at the very top of this, we're going to do import CX_F freeze, and then we specify what we're going to convert into an executable using the executables variable. We're going to say executables equals, and it can be a list. Here it's just one, but it's going to be CX_freeze dot capital E executable having a hard time. Too many videos at once apparently. And then in parentheses, our parameter is going to be the name of our script. So our script is this right here, right? Pygame tutorial. So I'm just going to copy that, paste, and then it's .py. So that's what we want to convert. Now, what we want to do is we're going to do the CX freeze setup. And this is really important, and I'll try to cover at least Pygame specific stuff, but it's what you throw into this can help or hurt you quite a bit. So a good idea would be to check out the documentation to CX freeze. You can get a lot of help there, and a lot of people just choose not to read documents, but definitely read the documents. Definitely very helpful. But in our case, what we're going to do is cx_freeze.setup, and in here we're going to put in all of the setup commands that we want. So first of all, what's the name of our application? We're just going to call it, this is Slither, right? Easy enough. Now we have options, and options is where all the fancy stuff can go. And in our case, we want to make use of a couple of things. We want to make use of the build.exe and the ability to store or notify it about the packages that we're using. So whether you're using matplotlib, tkinter, or Pygame, this becomes a huge use because CX freeze does a pretty good job of recognizing modules that you use, but not perfect. So it's always a good idea to be like, hey, like we're definitely using this stuff, and like really make it clear and explicit to CX freeze. So this is going to be a dictionary, hence the curly braces, and the first thing is going to be build_exe, and this is going to be where we specify, well, I was just talking about packages, and then colon, and then this is a list. We just so happen to only really have one major package that we're using here, and that's Pygame. So the what we're going to put in here is just simply Pygame. Then we have another parameter here where we do included files. So this is just, include files, and this is what's necessary to notify Pygame of the images that we want to use with our Pygame. And so included files, again, colon, and this is going to be a list. And here we just have two images. We've got apple2.png and snakehead2.png. So again, that's just going to be apple2.png and then comma, and then snakehead2.png. End the list, which we've already done usually, and then close the brackets. And that's it for our dictionary there. So you add a comma at the very end, hit enter, and you're going to continue working on our CX freeze setup. Now I'm going to go ahead and continue the CX freeze setup in the next video. What I'll do real quick is I'll configure idle here. I'll make the font slightly smaller. Hopefully we're trying to get everything to appear on the screen. So this is the entire options line here. So pause here if you need to, and make sure you've got that exact line. Otherwise you're probably going to throw an error. So anyways, that's going to conclude this video. In the next video we'll continue on with this. Thanks for watching.